Hey girls, hey girlies, how are we doing? As we know, my start to 2025 has been treacherous. It's been intense. But we're here, I believe when this comes out, I will be 30 years old. The big 3-0. I'm sure I will do a solo episode talking about that, but in the meantime, today we had my nearest, my dearest, my sweet angel baby girl, India. And she's getting married. She's getting married next month and could not be happier for her. She has found the most adorable golden retriever of a man who is just the biggest sweetie poopers, let alone the fact that she is an even bigger sweetie poopers, okay? She has breastfed me many a time. In fact, there was a night where I was having a wee bit of a crisis. I FaceTimed her. This bitch literally popped out of bed, ripped her mouth tape off, and said, "What's going on?" And that's a friend. Okay? So I got to, get into the nitty gritty with her about weddings. She's a bride. She's a bride to be. Because who knows if Emma is going to get married? Shall we place bets? It's not looking good. My grandma yesterday kept asking why I'm single. So go grab a bowl of cottage cheese and welcome to Open Wide. I bought a car.
I can't believe you bought a car today.
No, I literally bought a car.
That's what being an adult is you make huge life decisions, and then
you're immediately numbed out.
And then the camera doesn't work.
The camera doesn't work, and then you have to go pick up a prescription.
Literally.
Oh, and then you forgot your stuff's in the laundry.
Yeah, and then someone says you look like shit or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, hey, I needed to be humbled.
Yeah.
This date was too good.
No, that is adulthood.
Yeah.
Okay, India. First of all, how many people always have a follow-up question when you say your name?
Many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
How'd
the
you
number
get
one?
that?
Oh.
Or are you from India? And I'm always like, no, I'm not.
What an interesting follow-up. Do you know people have asked if I'm Asian?
Why?
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have no comment
It's
on that.
data. It's data that I've just had to receive. So we have you on here. Who's we? Always say we.
Me, you and the plant.
Because you have a big day coming up.
Mm-hmm.
A very big day. Some may call a wedding.
That is true.
And I have you on here to talk about being a bride.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like most of us go through with a wedding at some point in our lives. Some of us go through many.
You mean go through as in attend?
Attend, be a bride.
I see.
Sure.
Sure.
I mean, that even makes the pool larger, whether we're attending or we are the bride. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that I'm catching you right before the wedding because I have questions.
Okay.
I've only been an attendee.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
May not ever be a bride. Always a
That's
bridesmaid,
not
never a
true.
bride.
Stop that, but okay.
With this trajectory, who knows? So we need to start from the top. Mm-hmm. How did you meet your beloved, your beautiful, beautiful boy?
Chris.
Yeah.
We worked at the same place, and when we met, he had a girlfriend, and I said, okay, well, that's that. But I did have a big crush, just from a distance.
Okay.
And then I left that company, and I went to the holiday party with a friend who still worked there. And I saw him, and I had just enough tequila to see him at the bar. And I was like, Chris, how are you? We were friends.
Okay.
But didn't keep in touch after I left. And he was like, oh, I'm good. And I said, well, where's your girlfriend? And he said, oh, well, we broke up. And I quite literally slid, glided over to him. And I said, oh, really? Glid. I glid over to him. And I said, oh, really? And then we just spent the entire evening talking. And by the end of the night, we played pool. And he said, if I win, you have to take me out. And if you win, I have to take you out.
Okay. And who won?
I think I won. I don't remember exactly. It didn't really matter because obviously I was very excited that either one of us were going to be taking each other out.
Did you smooch that night?
Yes.
Did you smooch butts?
I plead the fifth.
Okay. There was some smooching to be had.
There was smooching.
Okay, and then from that moment on, did you just know that this was your person?
Yeah, it was pretty instant.
Was it love at first sight? Do you believe in love at first sight?
I don't.
Okay.
However, what I will say is there are people I meet in my life that, whether it's romantic or friendship, I think when I met you,
instant,
I knew that we were going to be friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, I felt like I had already known him. It was almost like I was meeting someone I already knew again.
I fully believe in past lives, by the way.
100%.
I think sometimes when you see someone, you're like, we were shipwrecked together.
Right.
You know?
Whatever it is. But I saw his face and I felt like I didn't even... We met originally, we were working in the same place and we took the same elevator up to the floor we worked on.
Please.
And I already knew who he was and he knew who I was.
Okay.
Because spoiler alert, I worked at a place where there were like no women and like I was one of the only girls who worked there. And he knew who I was and I knew who he was. And I said, like, he was carrying some Moana grocery bag and I said, is that a Moana bag? And he said yes. And literally that was it. It was just that I just felt like I had met him before.
Also, you and I never saw Moana 2.
Yeah, that's wrong.
We'll
do a viewing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I need to see the second one.
I've heard not great things and I'm nervous.
I don't care.
Okay.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, we need to follow up on that. So it wasn't necessarily love at first sight, but there was some inkling.
To me. But he had a girlfriend at the time.
Okay.
So, he thought nothing of it. And maybe he thought I was cute or whatever, but like...
He's a loyal boy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. And he didn't think of it that way.
Okay. Then how long did you guys date?
Have we been dating?
Do we say dating now? If
you're a fiancé? We've been together for just recently 6 years.
Oh my God.
I know. It's kind of crazy.
Do you feel like you're both very different now than you were then?
I mean, we've
ways?
taken on each other's traits. So, like, I used to be such an introvert. And I only recharged by being alone.
Okay.
And he very much recharged by being social and being in a group setting. And while that's still pretty true for the both of us, we've adopted a lot of things like that we use ourselves to like recharge like each other. So now I can be very social throughout the week and I'm like totally fine. Before I would like crash and burn.
Sure.
And he now seeks alone time and like quiet time with just himself, which I'm always happy to give, and he's always willing to give me when I need that.
It's that 2-bedroom life, baby.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Anybody who says that they sleep in the same bedroom with their partner
every
single night, no. I mean, every now and again when we've gotten like shit sleep, I'll be like, I'm so sorry, is it okay if I sleep in the other bedroom? He's like, yes, of course. And then we both wake up refreshed. There's nothing wrong with that.
I exclusively want to sleep in separate beds.
I think that's okay. Well, you write your own rules.
Thank you so much. So then, okay, on the flip side of that, do you feel like you have adopted each other's negative traits, or rather, you know each other's buttons really well?
100%.
What are your buttons that he presses? Does he leave like a wet rag? I don't know if I can
say them because I don't know them until they're pushed.
Okay. What are his? What do you like to push?
I don't like to push his buttons. I mean, I would say that he knows that when I'm watching like Real Housewives, I am not to be disturbed.
It's so funny you say that because when I come over to watch Housewives and he's there, I feel like he finds the opportune time, whether it's a commercial break.
Angie, oh, you do? I think he comes in at the
worst time.
Minute 37 when two women are like pulling each other's hair.
Sure. And he has like an amuse-bouche or like a pedophore in his hand and he like sits down looking. He's like, what are we doing?
He's facing us and we're facing the TV.
Yep, a true golden retriever.
Yeah, yes. But he's always interested in Housewives.
He's also just interested in everything.
Yeah.
Like whatever you say, he's like, okay,
I know,
let's
really
unpack.
Listens. He's so good.
I love him with my whole heart.
Yeah.
Okay, so you dated for 6 years. Did you know he was going to propose?
I didn't. We had the conversation that we like wanted to get married. We kind of knew.
Okay.
And right before he proposed, he was in Atlanta for a month working on a movie.
Okay.
So, and he had kind of like, I think already decided he was going to propose when he got back. But then his trip was cut short and he came home earlier. And on the day of, to answer your question, I did not know.
But apparently, from someone who's perpetually single,
Mm-hmm.
so you like have conversations about getting married.
I mean, we both were like, marriage is something we want. We see
do you
it
give
with
a
each other.
timeline? You're like, I think it should happen.
There was at one point where I was like, are we doing this? Like,
Sure.
I want to be married. Like, I want to be married to you.
Sure.
I don't want to be married. I want to be married to you.
Right.
That was the conversation, basically. And I didn't want to pressure him. But I think at that point, he already knew he was going to propose. Yeah.
Okay.
But the only tip-off I had was that I got some mysterious DM on Instagram of, like, a picture of a manicure. And I don't remember what the Instagram name was. But it turned out it was my mom.
Your mom made a fake account?
She made a Finsta.
Stop. And sent you a manicure?
Also, love you, Mom. It was the ugliest manicure. It was a different color on every nail.
No. No.
Yeah.
Was there any context or was it literally?
No, it was just that.
You're lying.
Yeah.
As if that was supposed to be like
and
some subliminal message.
And she was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't know that.
And the profile picture, I knew it was her because the profile picture was a picture of this pillow that we in our house.
No. It literally says your last name with like everyone embroidered on it. Stop.
No, it was like a pattern pillow. And that was the only tip off. He was very lucky because the night before, our dog Bruce had terrible shits all night long, and I was up all night long taking him outside to like
explosive dye.
Poop fire. Literally fire.
Yeah. Which you can't clean up.
No, you just have to let go and let God.
Yep.
Say a prayer and make a wish. And say a prayer.
Either one or both in this economy. At the rate that this year is going.
I said, that's not a phrase, India.
I watched your brain. I was like, should I catch that? Okay, so your dog is shitting fire.
Shitting liquid all night long. And we had plans to go to the beach the next day. And he was like, you still want to go, right? And I was like, yeah, let's go. And it was a Friday, like took off the afternoon. And I was in such a bad mood. I was so angry.
Cantankerous.
No, he was like, are you going to be here? And I was like, no, I am pissed.
Oh my God.
And we got to the beach and he was like, and I had blisters all over my feet because I wore really uncomfortable shoes for a couple days. And he said, let's go down to the water. And I said, but my feet.
Your tootsies.
My blisters. And he said, just get up. And so I stood up and he got down on my knee.
There was a photographer, though. Was that a friend?
Javier, yeah.
Okay.
Has a really nice camera, and I think dabbles in photography, so he took our picture.
Did you have fantasies about how you wanted to be proposed to?
No. All I knew is that I would love for afterwards to be with friends or family, or both.
Sure.
And he made that happen. He actually surprised me with our parents both being in town, and then a secondary surprise was that we got to the restaurant where we were supposed to have dinner and all of our friends were there. Yeah.
I feel like that's the best combo because I do find when family pops out of a bush. It's a bit intense.
I don't ever want my family to pop out of a bush. Let me make that clear.
Right?
Yeah. Sorry.
It's also like, let's keep it for the bride and groom and the dog. And the dog.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we've planned a wedding.
We have.
Yeah. Can we get into it?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, how soon after you getting engaged do you start getting bombarded with questions from friends and family? When are you getting married? Where? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I don't remember because I either blocked it out of my mind or like people knew that we were not
doing it
actively planning.
Okay.
We got engaged in 2023. So, and we knew we wanted to take our time to be engaged.
Okay.
And find whatever felt right. Then we had ruminations of like eloping and maybe
you were thinking of Italy at one point, right?
Yeah. And then we just felt like, I don't know, like it doesn't really make sense, you know, to have every single person travel. And then we landed on LA.
Your wedding is also such a chic-ass idea in that you are renting out a restaurant, a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
But not only is it just the reception, you're also having your ceremony at the restaurant because it has this like beautiful outdoor patio.
Yeah.
And it's going to be this like indoor-outdoor combo. Like, I think that's so innovative.
Thank you.
I love it. So how did you land on that? Did you want to do... Let me start by saying this. Did you enlist the help of a planner?
No.
Wait, did I know that?
I don't know. We don't technically have a planner now. We've never had a planner. We now have a coordinator, which is like someone who only comes on like 2 months before.
Am I about to sneeze? Hold. Insane. What's
Say a prayer and make a wish.
I made a wish. When you show up day of your wedding, is that what the coordinator does? Like in terms of
they're setting up all of the vendors and like florist, DJ, all that jazz. Some people like because we're doing a restaurant buyout, our lift is very light because we don't have to rent all of the linens, the tables, the plates, the flatware, the drinkware. All of that is baked in, and we don't have to get like a caterer. We don't have to like just a lot is cut out. So the lift is relatively light.
Okay.
Compared to a wedding that is like build it yourself, DIY.
Like start from scratch basically with the venue.
You have a blank venue, you have to get everything else.
And were you thinking about that option?
That never sounded
That was
fun
never.
to me.
Okay.
Yeah, any place we looked. And we had circled the drain a couple times. We had been like, oh, let's do Palm Springs or let's do somewhere like not in LA and reached out to a bunch of different places just to get a quote. And we kind of found that like really the best thing to do is to go somewhere where they have a kitchen and a staff of like a cooking staff, like a kitchen.
Also, I've been to that restaurant before. The flatware, all of the stuff they already have is adorable.
I mean, truthfully, what I started doing was looking up like restaurants that people have rented out, and then I just went to their Instagram and their tagged photos. No, I didn't even do that. I just went there to tag photos and tried to see if there was a wedding there, and sure enough, there were many places that like people had started doing that. I'm hearing that that's going to be like a thing for like 2025 and 2026.
Sure.
Is that like people are doing restaurant buyouts?
Well, I also just feel like the cost of everything is getting cuckoo bananas.
No, I mean, we got a quote for a country club in Palm Springs. They don't even have a kitchen, so you'd have to bring in your caterer. Transparently, it was $60,000 for
That's just the venue. No.
Yeah, and then catering would have been $40,000. Yeah, and I was just like, that's no. Hey, so that's crazy.
I'm also like, how do people pay for it?
I've been to generational wealth, or they put themselves into debt.
Sure.
You know, I don't know. That was just never something that we like. We knew we wanted something, but we didn't want to go crazy. Yeah. We have other things we want to pay for, but there's no shame. It's like, if that's what somebody wants and that's what they want and they know that's what they want, but
then go for it.
Knew that was not what we wanted. We cared about having the people we love most in the world at the venue and having good food and good music.
Then what were the non-negotiables of like, I do not want XYZ?
Oh, I honestly don't even remember. Okay. I knew that I didn't want a country club. And I think he would agree. Like, we kind of both felt like doing a restaurant buyout was the best way to do it.
Okay.
Because there was just like less unexpected variables. And if we did some kind of DIY wedding, I would want a planner, and we didn't want to have to pay for a planner. But again, like, to each their own. Like, that was just not something I was interested in.
I also feel like you have the assistant in you. You got that dog in you.
Yeah.
So like, you got the Excel sheet.
Is my bitch. Yeah.
Yep. Color coded.
Yes.
Beyond.
Very important.
Tabs.
Yep. Tabs.
So I feel like that is just a natural place for you to be. You could be a wedding planner, some may say. Okay.
And I've had many people ask me if I would ever do that after this. And then meeting my wedding coordinator, she is so thorough. I simply said, no.
Yeah, can't do it. Can't do it.
No, I can't.
Do you believe in always having an open bar?
Yes.
Okay.
Cash bar is
tough.
I will judge you for a cash bar.
Tough.
I won't judge you for a country club wedding. I'll judge you for a cash bar.
Absolutely.
Wine and beer is great.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah, if you need to make that possible, that's great.
Are you doing cocktails with like names?
No.
Like the indie spritz?
No.
Not
as of now.
Okay.
There's still time.
Sure. Maybe that's my job.
Yeah.
Myself, I'll have like a little party entertainer cap and those like Kanye West 2010 glasses, a flared pant. Okay, so no planner. You were once you landed on the restaurant, you were like, this feels right.
Yeah, we went to a bunch of restaurants. And we had reached out saying, we're thinking about having our, like, doing a restaurant buyout for our wedding. And most of, like, the managers or director of operations were like, yeah, come on by. We'd love to have you. And if it works out, then it works out. And we tried a bunch of different places across LA.
And have you run across some snafus? Some roadblocks, if you will? I mean, it sounds like...
for the restaurant specifically?
Yeah, or any part of the planning. Like, has there been...
You know, yeah, there's one hitch, and it's that, like, the place we were staying for the weekend of in Pasadena, they charge for us to take photos anywhere on the grounds, and it's not cheap. It's like in the thousands.
What?
And they only allow 6 people. My family has a group of 12. So already...
I'm like, let me talk to the person who came up with that rule. Let's have a very calm and collected chat.
Yeah.
It's deranged.
But, you know, we're making it work. I just don't feel like the snafus are something to, like, be depleted over.
Okay.
There's always a workaround.
Okay.
Always.
Now, what blew me away was when you told me the cost of DJs and, like, music in general.
I mean, it can range...
Because some people do, like, the live band and...
Yeah, and that's expensive.
Like 6 figures, right?
6 figures?
No.
No.
Okay.
That would be like hiring mid-tier musician to play. Like
Imagine Dragons. No, that'd be in the mills.
Yeah, probably in the mills.
Sure.
I would have no idea
Modest
how much they
Mouse.
Cost. Yeah. Nelly Furtado, maybe.
I hope she's doing well.
Yeah, me too. Maybe I'll contact her to do our wedding.
Honestly, come out. Come through.
Miss ya.
Yeah, love you.
Sorry. Live music is very expensive.
Okay.
I don't know, but I would wager a guess that it's anywhere in between $5,000 and up, depending on how many piece band you have. You know what I mean?
And are you supposed to tip the DJ? Like, on your end, once you book them?
I think so.
Where does tipping play a role in this whole thing?
Well,
like,
you should always tip your vendors, is my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll tip the restaurant because they have staff.
But what is it the percent?
20%.
Of the total bill?
I believe so.
You're joking. So if the bill is like $80K,
yeah,
you're supposed to...
I don't know.
$16K tip?
I don't know. That is research I have not done.
Okay.
I just know that the
you tip.
Right thing to do is to tip.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've been a server, so we're tipping.
Sure. Once you got engaged and you went to weddings, were you like hyper 100%. Aware? And what were the things that you wanted, like you noticed that you're like, absolutely not, or absolutely I want
good
this?
Food.
Okay.
You know, been to a couple weddings where like the food was cold or just like genuinely like inedible.
Yeah.
And like maybe like we had to travel for a wedding where the food was terrible. I'm like, the one thing I'm getting out of this is a good meal. And I'm not even getting that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The photo booths with the white background and like the props that you hold,
the mustache.
Big no for me.
Tough.
Big no for me.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're not my vibe.
Right.
Let's see. Getting married by someone who doesn't know us. That was always a priority, is like having an officiant that knows Chris and I. Because it just feels more personal.
100%.
We've been to a couple weddings where it just didn't seem like... It seemed like the officiant was like a professional officiant.
Right. They're like, love is a wonderful thing.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And we both just felt like that's not something we want. Like, this should be the most personal. Our wedding is small enough that it should be an extremely personal ceremony and officiant doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like through all of the planning, especially because you took the brunt of the planning.
Sure.
Is that how you say that phrase? Took the brunt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a prayer and say a wish?
Yep.
No.
Do you feel like it brought you and Chris
closer? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we both had very similar priorities.
Okay.
Which were good food, good music. And mainly like having our people all come together.
Okay.
Yes. And you know, with whatever like tiny little bits of drama there were, like just venting to each other about it was always really lovely.
I'm assuming family drama or just like the infight of it all, like having...
There's just always opinions.
Sure.
Yeah, and everyone thinks that their opinion is the most important one.
And how do you keep grounded in the fact that this is your wedding?
Well, we're paying for it, so the answer is no.
Yeah.
If I don't like it, the answer is no. I will welcome it. Sure. I will think about it. But if it doesn't feel like it's right, the answer is no.
They're not paying the bill. Thank you so much.
Yeah, kind of.
Now, I want to talk about the wedding dress of it all.
Okay.
Because I do feel like there is... You know what's crazy? I'm having such an intrusive thought that this isn't recording. I just want to double check you do see that red light, right?
Yeah.
God bless. I said a wish. And I made a prayer. Said a prayer, make a wish.
Say a prayer, make a wish.
Okay. So I feel like it's made to be this, like... I feel like in shows, it's like there's a montage scene and everyone's crying and laughing and getting drunk and all the dresses fit the woman perfectly and it's like this... magical experience.
Yeah.
Now, if I had to try on a series of, dare I say, white maxi dresses in front of people who are going to absolutely... Yeah. We pulled out a shirt from my mom's closet. It had birds on it and bedazzled on, like, little rhinestones on the collar. And you're going to tell me it's too much cleavage? Like, what was that process like for you? How did you mentally prepare? Mm-hmm. Was it what it's like in the movies?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What was that journey?
Well, I mean, no, it's not what it's like in the movies at all.
Okay.
You know, I'm not a size 2 Amazonian woman.
Sure.
That's just absurd. I was very self-conscious that I wasn't going to find anything that fit me. And I'm not even, like a double-digit size. But it felt very isolating, or not isolating. It felt very exclusive to only thin women.
Sure.
Like, I'm talking like size 6 and below. And especially we live in LA, like people are hot.
Yeah.
And they're like fit.
Yeah.
And I was just very nervous for that. But my process was that I knew my first appointment would be alone.
Smart.
Yeah. I felt like that was just something I wanted to do first.
Okay.
Try on anything and everything. I went to Anthropologie. They were lovely.
Sure.
I picked out a bunch of random dresses of styles that I would never have picked for myself, just so I can have a little bit of an idea of what to expect.
Right.
And also the process of like someone maybe being in the dressing room with me, which is like not something I'm comfortable with.
Because there's like, I'm assuming a lot of sneaky zippers and buttons and
clasps. Like you're naked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're wearing
you're motorboating
underwear.
the woman.
Yeah. And they tell you most of the time like to take your bra off because like things have padding already in it. It's very like exposing.
Quick logistics question.
Yeah.
Is it 1,000,000 degrees in the fitting room?
Sometimes it is so warm.
Yeah, I'm picturing like just trying to get into this like polyester dress.
Okay. Anthropologie was fine. My second time I went, I knew I didn't find anything in Anthropologie. That really was just like, I want to go do this alone.
Okay.
Kind of try this without any people around so I can kind of form my own opinion and also just get comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
Trying all these things that maybe are not my style on.
Because no one goes into it knowing, yeah, of course a drop waist corset button in the back dress is going to work for me.
Some people do. Some
Insane.
people go, they try it on, they know.
I wish.
So then I had another day of appointments and I invited like 3 friends because one of my friends was in town and I was like, let's go. Let's just try stuff on. Maybe we won't find anything, but it's worthwhile. So we went and tried a bunch of stuff on at like 2 or 3 different places. And the first place was lovely. I had a very lovely sales associate. And those, I only had women as my sales associates. They were all so nice and so comfortable. They made me feel so comfortable.
Okay.
And the experience was not like everything I tried on was perfect. It was sometimes very upsetting. I was like, I actually like don't want to see myself in this. Or I tried it on and I'd be like, I don't want to go out there. You know?
Okay.
And then by the second appointment, I tried one thing on and I saw like myself in the mirror, like from the back. And I was like, take this off me right now.
Stop.
Yeah, it just like was not a fun experience all the time.
Also, aren't there like, you're in a circle of mirrors? You're hitting angles that you didn't even know.
Hey, yes. I didn't know my shoulder looked that way.
Don't need to know.
Yeah, no, and that's none of my business.
You know what? Target's dressing rooms are like that.
They're
and it's
everywhere.
the most fluorescent lighting.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
evil.
no, I literally have back flaps.
It's awful.
No, someone could ride me
I
like
didn't know
a
I
horse.
had tits on my back.
No one wanted to tell me that. Oh, and then because sweat gathers in that, I need
don't
to
even get me started.
No.
And there was one where it was a corset, and I was being like hoisted into it, and I was like,
no,
yeah,
I feel like cattle.
Any deodorant is not powerful enough for this.
Wait, do you have to pay for these appointments?
Yes.
Okay.
Some are free.
Okay.
Most are not.
And what are we talking?
Anywhere between like 50, maybe 25 to like, there's like some salons that are like 170.
Okay.
So it can be expensive. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is exclusionary and it's not approachable. And that's the part I didn't like. I was like, this is not approachable for everybody. And ultimately, like, the only people who are able to find their dresses are only able to find, like, within a certain like price range, are only able to find them at one place because they cannot afford the appointments because they are so expensive sometimes.
Sure.
And it's very nerve-wracking.
And do dresses go up to like $100,000?
Oh God, if they do, I would not know. But yeah, I mean, I the most expensive dress I think I tried on was like 10 grand, and even that I was like,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
that was absurd. That's absurd.
They're like, it's the craftsmanship.
Sure,
like,
I'm sure it is, but the craftsmanship is not something I need.
Sure,
yeah,
sure. So then, when you did put on your dress, did you get a little teary?
There was one that I tried on and I was like, oh, like I really, really like this. I love the way I look in this. This makes me feel, and my goal was not that I wanted to look like a beachy bride or a boho bride or like a sophisticated, elegant bride. I just wanted to feel like me. I wanted to wear something
just feel good.
that felt natural to me, not necessarily like appropriate for the venue, but something that made me feel like, when I look in the mirror, I'm India and I am bride version of India.
Yeah.
You know?
Am I going to cry? Okay.
But not that like I'm a bride, but I'm India as a bride.
Yeah.
And I tried one on and it was like, we all had this moment where it's like, oh yeah, like, okay, this is beautiful. And then I tried on another one and I was like, wait, this has changed the game. And it ended up being the one I picked.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Watching you go down the aisle, I'm absolutely going to lose it.
I am very nervous that the whole day I'm going to just be crying nonstop.
Do you know where you're going to be on your cycle?
No.
Would you be willing to? I've heard women like go on birth control leading up so that they can plan for it.
Yeah, I mean, I have an IUD, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a little prayer.
Why? Because you think I'm going to be so emotional if I'm like close to like my cycle?
Well, no, I'm just like the period of it all. Like what? And you're in a white dress.
I wouldn't have to worry about that. I have an IUD.
Oh, you don't get a period at all?
No.
Never?
No.
Okay, tits out. I didn't even know that about you.
Yeah.
We continue to get closer. When you were a kid, did you like fantasize about weddings, or did you want to be? Yeah.
Never.
Me either.
So many people, girls I know, had like Pinterest boards for their wedding. That was just never something I thought about.
I know.
Which
I think that's also a product of our parents.
Space. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Some people just have the space for it though. Like and they want to think about it. It was not something I didn't want to think about. It's just something I did not think about.
Sure.
You
also,
know?
no shame. Make a fucking Pinterest board.
That's what I'm saying. Looking back, I'm like, man, I would have probably been able to make decisions a lot faster had I thought about this. Like, I didn't even think about what kind of ring I wanted. I didn't even know the shapes of rings.
Well, there's so many dang options.
And also, I'm a Libra, so indecision is my downfall.
Yep. Well, what you and him chose.
Well, what he chose.
He's a good boy.
He did very good, yes.
Also, I will say, I know I talk shit on weddings. I know I miss... La, 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 la. I will say, it is a very special day.
Yeah, but I get it.
And...
I'm with you.
No, and... people are entitled to feel as special as they fucking want. If you want to have a dove come out of a box, do it.
Yeah, it's your money.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'll eat foie gras on a beef tenderloin that's dried out.
Salmon on a plate of potatoes.
Sure. They're going to say sand. I was like, I'll eat sand. Make a wish. Okay, so you know I do trivia. Are you ready? Some of these are...
But wait, really quick.
Yes.
I want to say one thing about the dress fitting.
Okay.
The dresses of it all.
Okay.
After I got the dress, you pick your dress. And I just want to heed this.
Heed it.
You pick your dress, and then you don't get it, usually, for months. And you freak out that when you try it on, you're going to be like, I hate this. I had
what if
so
your mind
many
changes?
doubtful thoughts in between purchasing the dress and having my first fitting.
Mm-hmm.
I would look at pictures of the dress like on other people and be like, oh, I like it, but I just don't know if I'm actually going to end up liking it.
Okay.
And then I had my first fitting this past week and I tried it on and I was like, oh, well, yeah. And
you felt the same way.
I really did. And the other thing I felt was I've been fretting about the way my body is going to look in it. And then I tried it on and I was like, oh, I'm reminded that the reason why I loved this was because I felt so good about myself
in the moment,
and I feel good about myself, and I'm so excited. I don't need to like lose all this weight or have my proportions be a specific way in order for this to look good, because I picked it because I like the way I look in it.
Dude, amen.
Yeah,
it should be that simple.
Yeah, and I had that hindsight, that foresight back then, I would have never fretted over not liking it.
Sure. Because I also, at the end of the day, you know what looks best on you, and you have great taste.
Thank you.
You know, like you wouldn't have chose something that was ass.
But some people pick things that are not my taste at all. But when they walk down the aisle, you're not thinking, as a guest of a wedding, you're not thinking like, I hate that dress. You're like, oh my God, she's glowing.
Sure.
You know, you're not even thinking about that.
Yeah. Oh. I may or may not have seen a little glimpse of the dress.
Yes, you did.
It's very special.
Yeah, and I've stopped showing people.
Okay.
Quit
it.
I've shown maybe one too many.
Okay.
That's fine with me.
No, I've already forgotten.
Because it's still going to be a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I cannot wait. Trivia.
Hit me.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
How many...
Oh no. Emily.
How many states does the Appalachian Trail cross?
You know what? I need to know this. I'm going to go with 6.
Don't sell yourself short. Hit me with another answer.
5.
14.
No, and actually that was going to be my next guess after 5.
Okay. What is the only food that can never go bad? I think it comes from nature.
Thank you. Agave?
Close, honey. Yeah.
The goo.
Make a wish.
Make a wish.
How many noses does a slug have?
3.
4.
Hey
guys. Hi. Okay, you honestly did pretty well.
Thank you. You know, one time when I was a kid, I woke up and there was a slug crawling on me.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Inside?
Inside me?
No. Inside a home?
Yeah.
Can you imagine a slug on the inside of your skin?
No, and
I'm gonna die. Gross.
No, there was a slug crawling on me. No shell.
I don't think slugs usually have a shell.
They do. Snails have
shells. Correct. One time in Hawaii, humble brag, I had a cockroach crawl up my leg. I screamed for my parents. They didn't come. And I want to say that was the start of it all.
And that's how you learned to have grit.
Absolutely. A thick skin. Okay,
Kids these days need to have a cockroach crawling up them.
Absolutely.
Kids these days need to wake up with a slug on their stomach.
5, 6, 7, 8. Make a wish. Okay. Your wedding is around the corner.
Yeah.
It's next month.
No. Yeah. Oh my God. It's February.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's stuff to do.
Okay.
There's quite a bit to do.
Or do you have any like pre-wedding jitters? Are you?
No.
No. You have it locked down.
What, you mean jitters like that something's going to go wrong, or like that I'm not sure about
any
anxiety?
Him? No, not.
Well,
like, maybe with him we can open that can of worms.
No.
Okay.
The answer is no. I do feel like I'm nervous that like it's going to rain. Or like.
Isn't that good luck though?
Yeah, I think rain generally is.
Okay. Or is that like someone said that as like a
I know
coping
moving
mechanism?
in when it's raining is lucky, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, no.
Your tits out.
I mean, everyone knows where to show up and what time. If everything stopped right now,
you'd be in good shape?
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the final touches?
You have to like pay people. And you have to like make sure your florist knows where to go. I don't know.
But for the most part, everything's done.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Not done, not like tied up with a bow, but like we have a DJ, we have a florist, we have a photographer.
Yeah.
We have the restaurant, we have the guests. All the guests have gotten their invites. Okay. Almost everyone has RSVP'd. We just have to do a seating chart. That's the biggest thing, and that makes me so nervous.
Put me next to my future husband. Would you mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who that would be.
Ponder.
Bruce?
Your dad?
No.
No? Okay.
I've been married 50 years, I'll have you know.
That's wild.
I think it's 50. Yeah.
Dude, you and Chris are going to be married for 50 years.
Hopefully.
Huh.
Fingers crossed.
Do you have any advice for any brides-to-be?
Stop watching TikToks. There was a period of time where I was getting so much bridal content. And it was really overwhelming. It became impossible to make a decision.
Yeah.
Or to feel like what I was doing was enough. And then I started doing that thing where you like click not interested, and I got less and less bridal content, and it just felt like I could clear my head of like feeling like I'm not doing enough, or people are going to be happy at the wedding. You know, that was huge.
Yeah.
I didn't follow any bridal accounts except for the designer that made my dress.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what it can be so consuming, and everybody has opinions, but like you can say no, you get to decide.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Totally. Yeah, I'm sure you're just like constantly inundated with like
it's very overwhelming. It's so overwhelming because everyone has opinions on what they think you should do. You know?
Here are the 10 things I would never do.
From a Southern California wedding planner.
Sure.
I'm like, I love you. I appreciate what you're doing. It is not serving me. It is making me more confused.
Okay.
You know, but I'm not the most decisive person. So for me, I can become really overwhelmed by the amount of options that there are. So when I'm getting a clutter of videos and recommendations from people I don't even know, people online, I just become so overwhelmed.
Oh, it's beyond.
Yeah.
Also, people are like talking about like the shabby chic table linens they got, and you're like, not me.
Yeah, and also like a lot of people recommend like you can make your florals yourself, and you can like just create a playlist.
Where's it all stored?
That I don't even know. But I thought about that, and then I thought, to me, I am luckily able to afford a florist. So I want to do that because I don't want to have to be overwhelmed on my day.
Sure.
You know, not everybody is like that's a luxury.
Sure.
I'm not afraid to say that. Like it is a luxury to be able to afford that. And so there's no shame in doing it yourself at all. And I think that there is shame put on people who do it themselves. And I find that frustrating.
Yeah. Dude, people are scrappy. People are DIY, baby.
Truly, it's so impressive what some people have done.
Yes.
Yeah. On like very minimal budget.
I need some of that.
Yeah.
I need to learn how to put like a cotton ball in a mason jar and turn it into a chia seed pudding.
Into a dress.
Literally.
A dwess.
A dwess. Yeah. Stummy. So you know how each episode ends.
I don't, actually. I don't remember.
What do you wish more people understood about you?
Ooh. Me India or me bride India?
Either. Yes, and.
That ultimately, I am a people pleaser. And I have a really hard time doing the thing that maybe feels the most natural to me because I'm always thinking about how it's going to affect other people.
Sure.
And I'm working on that.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
But I guess the thing I want people to know about me, is that the question? Sorry.
Is there anywhere in your life where you feel misunderstood, whether that is
I
as
think
a
that
bride
people don't understand that I'm always thinking about literally every scenario.
Right.
Yeah.
From here to Timbuktu.
It's called anxiety.
Hello, ever heard of it? No, you are incredibly empathetic. Even when it came to your bachelorette, you were thinking of quite literally everyone's needs, wants, and we're like, hey, what does the bride want? What does she want to do? Mm-hmm. And I think there is also this idea of like, oh, bridezilla, and you don't want to be...
Yeah.
You can also just like have wants and desires and actually want to do what you want to do with the money that you are spending on it. Mm-hmm. And that's totally fine and actually encouraged.
Yeah. And I resent the bridezilla like moniker because it is so overwhelming and it is so expensive. It's all so expensive right. because of things you can't even control, because there's a 25% probably larger markup on anything wedding related. So yeah, people are going to become bridezillas. Sure. It is so overwhelming. It is so overwhelming.
When everyone's in your ear at once, I'd be like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
And you're so hyper aware of like making yourself happy, your fiance happy, your coupleship happy, your friends, your family, all the while trying to fit it under a specific budget.
God damn. It sounds impossible.
Sometimes it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Next month.
I'm so excited. It's going to be so much fun. We just had our walkthrough and we had our tasting, and like the food's going to be, and the music is going to be incredible. It's just going to be a party. And that's all I want. I just want to feel
giggles, laughs.
Having all of our people in the same place is more than I can ever ask for. And to have all of the people we love most witnessing the 6 years of work that Chris and I have put into our relationship, and then that we will eventually put into our relationship, means more than anything.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I also will be Jersey Turnpiking an elderly family member of yours to Freak a Leak, so I hope that's okay.
Okay. I don't know who to direct that at. Maybe my mom.
Your mom's hot. And we'll end on that. I love you.
Mwah.